You will never catch my black ass in Dubai.
I moved to Dubai to become a porta potty. And if you don't know what that is, it's women who come to Dubai and get pooped on for $50,000.
Go, Smiley.
Hey.
Hello, excuse me. What are you doing? This is not allowed here. You have to be jail. Please come with me.
Where am I going?
Yeah, this is not allowed. This is Islamic country. Do you know?
Yes.
So this all kind of activities are not allowed here. Please
Okay,
come,
I'm not.
Why do you have time? Please show me your ID. Show me your ID, please.
No, let's go. No, sir, I don't want no problem. I'm not from here. No.
And all of a sudden I go from having this drink in my mouth to right here in cuffs and shackles. Like,
If you don't do something, I'm gonna burn your face. And let's see if you touch me out here in the streets. I'm dead ass. I'm not playing.
They literally get that money for being a human toilet.
If you're gonna judge me for farting in jars, we all do it. I just made money off of it.
Find me, I don't care where it go, find me the quickest flight out of here. Like, I don't care what country you land in.
What's up, my beauties? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sandy. Welcome back to this episode of The World is Ghetto. This is another one for the books. Today we're taking it to the city of Dubai. Yes, I said city of Dubai. A lot of people think that Dubai is a country, but I'm here to tell you nope. It is a city in the United Arab Emirates, also the UAE. So we're taking it to Dubai. You know, y'all be seeing your favorite influencers. Y'all be going these vacations not knowing you could get arrested for the simplest things. Like, I'm telling you, I've learned a lot of stuff from this video that I could have been arrested for if I went to Dubai. Something simple as taking videos and sharing them online, doing this crazy stuff y'all be doing in public, twerking, doing this TikTok videos. And another crazy one, somebody was touched, like literally touched a man at the airport. You know, it's like women are not supposed to touch men. Like literally, you're not supposed to touch anybody, man, out there. Anybody, not just anybody. You're not supposed to touch any man. So she was like, she came out from this surgery and she was looking for help, child. So she was getting down, trying to ask for help. Do you know she was taken to jail, honey, for touching? Allegedly, it was called like assault, honey. Ha! Ooh, child, honey, you can't even touch nobody, honey. Nothing. You can't raise your voice the way y'all be talking. Cops be stopping you and you're ready to like, nah, you ain't getting my license. Baby, you going in. And they not talking about like some few hours, bro. They talk about years. Like you in there, bro. I've seen other ones, like this guy and his brother were arrested there and they had to spend a long time in the prisons. He broke it down how the prisons was. Like, I'm telling y'all, this video should be helping you guys so that y'all can go out here and experience an amazing vacation. Because a lot of us usually think that, oh my God, let me just go. You picture the whole beautiful scene of Dubai. You do not know there are a lot of things that you do that could actually affect your vacation, could get you arrested, could actually affect your freedom. You know, something simple as how you dress at the malls. You ain't wearing no goddamn booty shorts. You're not showing your arms and stuff. Baby, a lot of things that we take on a daily basis that we think, oh yeah, it's gonna slide because we're in America, honey, or any other country as that. And then you think it's gonna slide in the freaking UAE, honey. It's not. They do not care about that. Ooh, child. So I hope this video actually helps you guys prepare for your vacations better. Don't be scared. Actually, this video should be helping you guys so that you experience a better vacation, because a lot of people go there, enjoy the vacations and have a good time. And then another thing is the influencers. Y'all be looking, y'all be wishing y'all was in their vacations. They going to Dubai and they coming back home with a whole bunch of money, thinking that they just went and spent and had a good time. Honey, they did. Ooh, child. Y'all have to watch this one for yourselves. Anyway, with that being said, I want y'all to like, comment, and also make sure you subscribe to this video, and let's get right into it.
I think everyone needs to hear this. British tourist 18 faces 20 years in Dubai jail after holiday romance with a 17-year-old girl. So this 18-year-old boy went on a family holiday to Dubai with his parents, and he had plans to meet up with the 17-year-old girl. They did end up meeting up and they did end up having sex. All was fine. They said they had a really nice time together, had a really good connection. The only problem is she didn't want to tell her mum that she was going to see a boy because she felt like her mum would not approve of the relationship, and she felt like her mum would not basically want her to see a boy in Dubai. Fair enough. So everything they did was in secret. Later on, she went back to the UK home and he still stayed in Dubai to carry on the holiday with his parents. A few days later, the police in Dubai knock on his door and say that they're going to take him in for questioning. He said that he was frightened and his parents were also frightened. He asked them what for and they didn't say anything. The 17-year-old girl's mother reported their relationship and reported the fact that they had sex in Dubai. And I'm going to assume that she obviously knows the laws in Dubai and knows that he would get in trouble for this. As you guys know, Dubai is an Islamic country, so obviously you cannot have sex outside of marriage, but they were reforming that for tourists, but there is no actual ruling on what the age of consent is. Obviously in the UK, the age of consent is 16, so an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old is completely fine, but in Dubai, there's no law saying whether that's fine or not. And what's really sad about all of this is he literally said that they had a wonderful time together and he literally planned to contact her when he got back to the UK and they wanted to carry on their relationship, but the strict mother basically stopped all of that. And the reason why she found out about this is because she went through her daughter's phone and basically found out the fact that she had a fling with this guy in Dubai. Do you know how strict this mother has to be to involve police in a private matter? She could have taken her daughter's phone and blocked the guy on all social media. What she has done is basically tried an attempt to throw away his life, because we don't know. He's facing up to 20 years in Dubai prison. That's really sad for liking a girl. His parents are basically still in Dubai trying to help him, trying to get him out. And his mother is a cleaner and his dad works in a warehouse, and they only just saved up enough money for the family holiday. So to try and now post for bail is really hard for them. The police are basically demanding 10,000 AED for bail. And that's just really sad because they obviously don't have that. This is just really sad. And I hope that girl's mother gets, you know what, let me not say that. I just hope she gets karma. Do you know what I mean? I feel like this is just really sad. You're just throwing away a young boy's life because you're a strict mother to some, like, what's wrong with you?
But knowing how strict the laws are in Dubai, do you know how racist and vindictive you have to be to actually wait until you've left the country with your daughter who's also committed the same crime to report a young black boy? You're so ashamed of the fact that your daughter loves black men. And now the world knows this, mind you, that you decide to report this young black boy and now have him sentenced to a year in prison because of something that your daughter fancies. And what always baffles me with racists is the fact that they don't even think about the ramifications of their actions. Now your daughter's been exposed, your face has been exposed, everybody in your community is going to shun you regardless because now they know that your daughter loves black people. And the worst of it all is that his prospects are potentially ruined because now he will have a criminal record for the fact that he spent a year in jail as a convict for having a holiday romance. Are you proud of yourself? And this is why I always say this. If you know that your parents are very strict and do not like a particular demographic and you have no plans of turning against your parents and disowning them, stay away from that demographic. Do not punish people for your problem.
Dubai is most known for being extremely expensive. Some of the most wealthy people in the world visit or live in Dubai. They are known for their architecture and their really delicious foods. A few years ago, a handful of influencers came forward and said that their lives turned upside down after receiving messages on social media from men asking for them to fly out to Dubai and have a good time with them. A lot of these girls were extremely happy and they agreed to take the trips, but they didn't know what was going to happen in their future. In order to receive these gifts and the money, some of these girls were asked to do strange things with animals. They were asked to eat or bathe themselves in really strange substances. It was also really common for them to be showered in another strange substance. Some of these girls were too disgusted to do any of these activities and were stuck, basically stranded in Dubai with no way home because they couldn't afford their tickets back. Other girls were extremely pleased with the actions. They said that what they did was worth every penny. Others said that the trip left them traumatized. They suffer from PTSD because of what they had to go through while on this vacation. Dubai porta potties aren't just Dubai porta potties. The more you know.
I was offered $100,000 to go on a brand trip to Dubai, and here's why I backed out of it last minute, because I found out some really disturbing details about a year ago. I got a message from a very prominent modeling agency on my social media. They reached out to me and told me that they are in charge of organizing trips for models to go to several hot locations. Basically, they told me that it is an all expenses paid trip. They will actually give you money in addition to the trip. They will fly you out business class class put you in one of the most luxury hotels in Dubai. And I was like, this sounds too good to be true. I mean, I'm not even that hot, so I don't understand why I was being asked to do this. But if you guys know anything about me, you know, I was on 90 Day Fiance and I did go pretty viral about a year and a half, 2 years ago for selling a certain something in jars. So I'm curious, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be trafficked. So I start looking into this agency. I go through their follower list and who their clients are. And I quickly come to realize that they have some very, very famous models. One of the girls, I remember she had a ton of plastic surgery. This is where everything completely changed for me. I decided to put her name into Twitter and things started to pop up. This girl's Twitter feed were all these pictures of her in Dubai on luxury yachts in the most beautiful apartments you can imagine, in shopping malls holding very expensive designer handbags. As I kept scrolling, I stumbled upon a very shocking video. It was a video of her laying on a bed and a man was doing a certain something on top of her. And it was at that point that I realized what these trips were and why we were being offered so much money to go. I immediately messaged the agency back and I told them that I was not interested, and they actually offered me even more money when I said no. But I don't think that you can put a price on dignity. And although there are things that I have done in this world that people might judge me for, they are things that I have done from the comfort of my own home. And if you're gonna judge me for farting in jars, we all do it. I just made money off of it.
If you like $10,000 just to go visit him wherever in Dubai or wherever, and he's willing to dash you $10,000. $10,000. Some people have never seen $10,000 in their life, man. You just need to look pretty and get $10,000 and be on that flight and go and do what you have to do. I always feel like it has to be something that is unique, because it's crazy things you're asked to do. You're told to suck toes, to do what? Like, it's crazy. You can, like, I don't want to go deep. I don't want to go into details about that because it freaks me out. I don't want to scare people. But the young guys need to know there is nothing for nothing.
Okay,
you want $1 million, you will do something that is worth $1 million. You want $5,000, you're going to do something that is worth $5,000. It's something I tried when I was on my desperate moments. I had to do it to just get back up. It's not something any woman should be proud of doing. Humble yourself and God will lift you up. Humble beginnings. I was a house girl. I became this. I got money. God took me back there. But the way you come back up is what matters.
Alright, chat, I wanted to come in and speak about that previous video of the girl, Brittany Acheng. She's actually a Kenyan socialite stroke influencer, and that video was actually so many years ago. This was back when I was in high school. Yeah, when I tell you I learn from people's experience, I don't let these things happen for me. I literally listen from these people's experience and actually move accordingly. Because back in high school, we were like a lot of people were looking up to Brittany Acheng, the so-called Vera Sidikas, and I'm telling you, they used to be flaunting it, going out there, honey, they started getting beat the hell up. Their passports was taken from them. They were getting down one of the most disgraceful things out there. So I was learning from those experiences. As soon as they started speaking out, I was like, honey, no, me and mine, if I can save the next girl, if I can save the next man, to like, you know how to move accordingly when you go there, and to know better. Because some people just take it for granted. Oh, I'm just gonna go there, I got a job. You better be a house help or house manager, housemaid, however you want to say it, and then 9 times out of 10 they get mistreated. I'm talking about this video where even the housemaids, they were told to, like, they were always beaten up, their passports was taken from them, phones, no communication cut off. You're treated like a slave, for real. Like, they were literally eating under the table. When the families was eating at the top, they were under the table having their food that there at their feet. Like, I'm telling y'all need to pay attention to these videos and these jobs that y'all look for out here in the UAE, thinking that, oh, it's finna slide this, oh, it must be this. Move accordingly. Don't have your passport taken out from you, bro. You need to hide that stuff like it's a freaking gold mine if you're going out there. If you have, like, or just don't go there to look for a job. I'm just saying that, especially for house helps. This is something I learned years ago. I'm talking about years ago when I was in high school. So pay attention, because these things have helped me, because I could have probably fell into the bait, because those emails and those Facebook messages that these men would send, I'm telling you, back in high school, you would find them. And it's like, how would they even find us? I don't know how they would find us on Facebook, bro, but they would send that to like peak girls. They were targeting girls in Africa, just, you know, someone who can simply just up and leave. Oh, it's an opportunity. You're thinking it's an opportunity. Next thing, the world is turned upside down. The next thing you know, you're stuck there for years and you're fighting for your life. So y'all pay attention and let's keep moving.
I want to speak about the Dubai porta potty. So I want to speak about it because I know that many people don't know what is happening. Many people are so confused. So I just want to break down what is happening in Dubai, okay? For those who don't know, this is something that has been happening for years, just that many people just don't know. And now some days ago, a video went viral, a leaked video from a girl doing that. So, okay, let me just not talk too much and let me break it down for you. What is Dubai porta potty? So as you can see from the name, porta is something that is portable, something that is movable, and potty, a toilet. So if we put it in this context, Dubai porta potty is a human toilet. Yes, you heard me well, a human toilet. So what is all this about, Rosebell? What is this human toilet? What are you talking about? Let me break it down for you. Basically, some rich Dubai men have some dirty fetish, okay? So they pay you as a human for you to do them as a human toilet. So let me break this more down in detail. So let me break down this to you, okay? Let's say that they pay you 50,000 euros, okay? They will pay you first the 25,000 euros before you do the service, and they will pay you the rest of the service in place and in case they're satisfied with what you do. So what you need to do as a human toilet, basically you go to this party and you get paid for men to shit on you. Yes, you listen to where they will shit on you, piss on you, and do all kind of disgusting things on you because they find it attractive. They find it like a fetish. So this rich men, they will shit on you, they will piss on you, they will let animals sleep with you, or even their family members sleep with you, like their sons, their brothers, their cousins, whatever. And then you get paid for that. But attention, you get paid if they like the services that you did. In case they didn't like it, you're not getting paid the rest of your money. So yes, these Arab men have some very cringe fetish, and this is one of them. So basically you get paid to be a toilet, a human toilet. And this went viral because a video went around that a girl, a black girl in this case, that is what breaks my heart, she was licking the poop of an Arab man. Disgusting. So girls, my girls here in TikTok, Instagram, wherever you're watching this video, please stop thinking that life is just everything bling bling. You don't know what goes when the cameras are off. This is how many girls are making their money, and you think that it's hard-earned working money. No, they literally get that money for being a human toilet.
You ever wondered if what you heard about Dubai is true? It is. Like, the girls out here are literally getting shit and pissed on. I thought the bathroom smelled like urine. I opened up one of the drawers after dinner. There's a t-shirt filled with urine and poop. I get that all cleaned up. Get ready for bed, get in the bed. The bed smells like urine. The sheets smell like urine. I strip the bed. I'm disgusted. I'm on the couch. I can't sleep. So update, it's now 1 p.m. I still haven't slept, but I did shower. They came to clean, thinking that was going to get me to stay, but no, I was on the phone with them, like, I still need a refund. I don't care if you fucking clean. There was human feces in the bed. That's disgusting. Like, so, yeah, I got a refund, and I'm just waiting on confirmation from, oh, this smells so good. If you guys don't know, get on it. It's Parfums de Marley Valaya. It's their new fragrance. Divine. I wear it every single day. It's like my signature scent now. So yeah, I got a refund, and I'm just waiting on confirmation from, oh, this smells so good. If you guys don't know, get on it. It's Parfums de Marley Valaya. It's their new fragrance. Divine. I wear it every single day. It's like my signature scent now. So yeah, I got a refund, and I'm just waiting on confirmation from, oh, this smells so good. If you guys don't know, get on it. It's Parfums de Marley Valaya. It's their new fragrance. Divine. I wear it every single day. I got a refund, and I'm just waiting on confirmation from, oh, this smells so good. If you guys don't know, get on it. It's Parfums de Marley Valaya. It's their new fragrance. Divine. I wear it every single day.
But yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation of my new Airbnb. Then I can't check in until 4 o'clock.
So everybody knows this story now about this young woman who was arrested in Dubai. She went to get surgery out of country. She had a layover in Dubai. They told her to take off her faja. A faja is what you wear after you get surgery. BBL, liposuction, whatever. You wear that to for compression. I forget what it does, but it's very important after you have surgery. She tapped somebody on the shoulder to try to get help because it's a 2-person job. You need 2 persons to be able to put this back on, especially after the surgery. She tapped the person to inform the friend to come and help her. Then she was arrested for assault. The judge wanted her to pay a fee, but I guess Dubai wanted her to go to prison, and that's why she was taken into custody. And she was sentenced to a year in prison. Now, she's not black. She's, I think, Dominican. But everybody believes that she's black. So when you're seeing all these anti-black comments directed at her, it's because they believe that this Dominican girl is black. And now some of the Dominicans people say they're blacks, not the black. That's not what we're talking about. But she is Dominican. I'm seeing all these nasty comments. Oh, she's ghetto. That's what happens when you go in other countries. Who knew that you can get arrested for just tapping somebody for help? I didn't know that. Some of these comments I'm seeing very anti-black and you believe that she deserves it because you hate black people, you hate black women especially. So when you heard this story and you've seen the way she looks, you thought, oh, another ghetto bee gets it. But that's all I have to say about this topic. Y'all being nasty to her because you believe she's black and you believe that black people deserve nothing. Because this story doesn't even make sense. At all. Please.
To black women that have been traveling to Dubai are wearing things that you normally wear in Western countries over there in African or Middle Eastern countries. And before you travel, because you done seen somebody on TikTok upload a video in Dubai that looks good. It seems like it's fun, but they forget to tell you that there are rules and regulations to how you're supposed to act and conduct yourself when you go into said countries. Y'all better ask Elizabeth here what the hell going on. 21 years old. Was just sentenced to 1 year. Now she's a New York City college student. Sentenced to 1 year in a Dubai prison for touching airport security guards' arm. Now, had she would have touched one of them sheiks over there and maybe put just a little pee on her, she wouldn't be in this situation right now. Had she would have just taken a shit, she wouldn't be locked up. You know, they love for black women to just defecate and do everything just utterly disgusting and beneath them, on them, so they can go home and kiss their wife with the same mouth, her pee, what was supposed to be. And her poop would have went in, but she's college educated. And one thing that I learned, from that and from dating, and being married to someone who's a foreigner in a Muslim dominated country, there's just certain things that a woman has to do. And I know a lot of y'all be laughing at me when y'all see me uploading my photos to Instagram in a hijab. Yeah. And you're like, you're not Muslim. Today I am. Because I'm not going to jail for none of y'all. I'm not getting stoned. I'm not getting beat and condemned by the family. I'm going to be right there just like this. Throwing out the carpet. Time to pray. Time to pray. Okay? That's what I do. That's what you have to do. Okay? Especially if you want to be well traveled and, you want to go into some countries and learn some things. You have to abide by the culture, but she didn't get the memo. And now she's in jail for 1 year. Elizabeth Polanco de los Santos. Damn, she black and Hispanic. She Afro-Latino. It says it in the name. A 21-year-old student enrolled at Lehman College in the Bronx received her sentencing on Monday. This came after she endured almost 3 months in a situation of confinement in Dubai due to a travel ban imposed on her, as reported by the advocacy organization detained in Dubai. According to the New York Post, the New York City college student was sentenced to 1 year behind bars by the United Arab Emirates for allegedly assaulting and insulting an airport security guard during a flight connection in Dubai over the summer, which means she was passing through. And she passed right by the jail, and she went past it. And just like in the Monopoly game, they tell you go back to jail. Okay. Now, while passing through security, Dubai airport staff requested that Los Santos remove a waist compressor. Child, she went over there with a waist trainer on, and she was required to wear after a recent surgery. Moral of the story is, y'all need to read before you see a TikTok video or even take a cheap flight. Because them cheap flights will divert you into countries that you're not necessarily prepared for. And you may have some cartridges, some oil cartridges that just have just a little bit of THC remaining. And your ass gonna be Brittany Griner keep messing around out here.
Oh my God. Have you heard this story?
I can't travel because they basically said I was trafficking drugs with my prescription medicine.
Georgia Navy veteran Charles Wimberly is stuck in limbo at a hotel near the airport in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. He went there on vacation with friends last month. As he was passing through the airport checkpoint to return home, he said some CBD capsules that had been prescribed for back pain fell out of his pocket along with ibuprofen.
And he was like, "What kind of medicine is this?" I said, ibuprofen and CBD. And he was like, "You little brown pills?" I said, "Yeah, the CBD." And he was like, "Well, CBD is not allowed." So I showed him what I looked up before I came over here. I said, "No, I looked this up before I came over here." I said, and I showed it to him on my phone. I screenshotted it, and he was like, "No, I don't know where you got that from. That's not legal over here."
Wimberly, who has served honorably in the Navy for 20 years, was about to find himself being thrown in jail for having non-intoxicating CBD and over-the-counter pain medication in his possession.
Trafficking drugs. I said, "This is my medicine." So they said, "What a prescription at?" So I showed them my prescription. I showed them everything, and they was like, "That's not good enough."
He's a good kid. He served his country honorably.
The vet's distraught father told me it's absurd to accuse his son of drug trafficking for a few CBD pills.
But everything they have explained to why they're holding him doesn't make sense.
Okay, y'all, so I just wanted to come out here and do a quick little story time about my flight back from Dubai. Okay, so boom, I'm going through like the regular like TSA customs when you get back in town from the country, where they ask you like, who'd you go see, where'd you stay, how long were you there, did you bring anything back? So I'm like, yeah, I brought some stuff back. I went shopping out there. So they're like, okay, how much did you spend? And do you have receipts? So I'm like, they've never asked me that in any other country, so I'm not thinking nothing of it. So I'm getting my receipts and stuff together to show them. So then this happens. So then they bring me over to somewhere with like a card reader, where like the little POS card reader, and she pulls out a piece of paper and she's like, okay, so what did you buy? So I'm like, I bought some Ricks, I bought a 2-piece from another store, and I bought some perfume. So I really bought more stuff than that, but I wasn't about to sit there and name all the stuff I bought while I was in Dubai. And then she goes, okay, so she goes and calculates and comes back and says, oh, so you spent a little bit over $2,200 when you was out there. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she was like, being that you spent that much money, and the stuff there is tax-free, you have to come back, and before you can go to the States, pay the taxes back. So I'm like, I have to pay the taxes back? Like, what? So then she does some other math, and then they're just like, oh yeah, you have to pay $80 before we let you back in the States. Nothing to pay $80, but I'm just like, bro, like I literally just came from Dubai, paid all this money to go to Dubai, literally had to pay for my bags, had to pay for the Wi-Fi on the plane, had to pay for this, pay for that, pay for Ubers, pay for taxis just to get to the airport. Like, I'm just like, bro, then I have to get back to Charlotte, pay for an Uber to get back home. Like, why am I paying y'all $80? basically just like, yeah, you didn't pay taxes when you paid for your stuff out there. You should have got your tax money back at the airport before you came back to the States, because in Dubai, if they make you pay taxes, they're supposed to give you that receipts, and you're supposed to get your money back before you come back into the States, which I did. They told me it would take like 5 to 10 days to get that money back. So I'm like, if I would have never got my tax money back, she was like, yeah, you would have had to pay taxes in Dubai and then pay taxes again when you get back. My whole thing was, nobody ever told me that you have to pay taxes back in the country when you leave Dubai. But then again, I've never spent that much money out the country before, so I don't know if I was just like, no one ever told me or nobody ever knew or what. But if you ever go to Dubai and spend some money, my suggestion to you is pack another suitcase, because if I would have checked all that stuff into my suitcase, I would have never, like, they would have never even known I had stuff, you know? If I'm gonna go out the country, specifically to Dubai again, I'm gonna go shopping again. I'm gonna get my tax money back again. I'm just gonna pack my stuff in a suitcase and check it all in, because another checked bag is like $20 versus paying $80 because y'all wanna pocket watch and see what I bought. She was like, yeah, they gotta make their money back. I don't care. Dubai has too much money to be worrying about what I got, and that's on period.
I know Dubai is like a premier destination for a lot of people. Like, they love to come out here. It's a tourist destination, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not my cup of tea, and I'll tell you why. So for context, I used to live here. I graduated from high school in the UAE. I lived in Sharjah. I did not live in Dubai. However, we spent a lot of time in Dubai, obviously, because, you know, where I lived, the Bahrain Coronation, if you're familiar, is on the Dubai-Sharjah border. So a lot of my time is spent in Dubai. However, I feel like the city has gotten increasingly soulless, and I'll tell you why. First things first, I feel like before there was a history, there was a culture here. I felt like you saw Emirati people here. You knew who Emirati people were. You saw the women with like it was like a niqab almost, but it was like just up until like your nose, and it was like a gold piece that would cover their nose. I used to think it was so beautiful, right? Now, I don't know who is who, right? And that's not a bad thing, but I feel like with the industrialization, the fact that this country relies solely on expat labor, you don't know where you are anymore. You don't know if you're in Ukraine, you don't know if you're in India, and that's not because of the people, but simply because I feel like developers and the people who like make things happen here, they'll see something in another country and think to themselves, I gotta bring it here. Where is like your originality? Where is your preservation of culture and history and heritage? Secondly, I feel like, yes, racism exists, global white supremacy is a thing. However, I really don't understand this thing. The service staff in this country are treated abhorrently. I will never, ever, ever deny that, right? My family, my mom doesn't play that shit. You treat everybody with respect. We don't give a fuck what religion you are, where you come from, nothing. So seeing how service workers are treated here, and then coming back here as somebody who's from here and like just trying to get around. I went to the bank today, and a service person, we're not gonna say where he's from, but let's just say he had the same skin color as me, okay? Felt like because I looked visibly African or black, he could talk down to me. All I asked for was, hey, like, what time does the bank close? Because I need to make a withdrawal, and it seems like, you know, the ATM's not working. He shut the door in my face. Now, to be quite frank, I'm not going to be rude back. It's not in my nature. However, the fact that they're treated so terribly here, and they feel like they can talk down to me because they feel like they're above me in some sense, when I don't feel that way about anybody, including them, is very weird. Because as soon as I open my mouth and they hear an American accent, they go, yes, ma'am, whatever you need, ma'am. No, you should be treating everybody respectfully. Like, oh my god, that stuff pisses me off, because it's like, I feel so bad for the way people are treated, and then to be treated even worse than that by somebody who literally knows firsthand what that feels like, I just think like something's not clicking. And for clarification, I understand that global white supremacy, racist Arabs, all that stuff exists here. I'm never going to deny that. However, this individual was not Arab, and they were not African. So to think that like you, in this hierarchy where both of us are being treated like shit, to be quite honest with you, I mean, what's the point? Because you hear an American accent, because I didn't present as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman named Jane Doe, all of a sudden you feel like you can talk shit to me until you hear my accent is kind of crazy to me, and it reminds me of when I was in high school and my calculus teacher literally threw a bottle of water towards me. It didn't hit me, but I went to the principal's office and I started kicking up shit. Nobody cared until I said I was going to call my embassy. I tell my friends this all the time. I literally said I was going to call my embassy. All of a sudden, babe, do you think America gives a fuck about me? They don't. They really don't give a shit about me. So like, because this passport allows me a little bit of access, I'm not gonna abuse that. I also don't believe in like the way that service staff are treated here, where wipe my ass, swipe my nose, like all that shit that they'd be asking service workers to do here. I don't do that. I will literally get up. Like, I'm super effing nice, because it's like, I know regardless, maybe you're just mad at the fact that you're being treated that way and you're pushing that on me, and I'm not gonna take that out on you. I'm just gonna suck it up. I'm gonna do my best to help. Like, I will get up. Don't worry about it. Don't do anything extra. I'm not gonna just, whatever it is that I need you to do, it's simply just that. I don't need the extras. I don't need you to treat me like a queen and like wash my feet. I don't need that. Also, Makeup by Mario, if you're watching this, me and my sister both have this damn stick and nothing fucking open. Look at this shit. Another concept that I don't understand is this country, when I lived here, it rained twice a year. The fact that not enough people drive Teslas, and I mean, I'm not even just gonna say Teslas because I can't really stand Elon Musk, but the fact that more people don't drive Teslas or energy efficient vehicles, considering that this is probably the prime place to do it since they like to pop up and build things in 2.5 seconds, will never make sense to me. It's just like, wow, not only are you capitalistic as fuck, but y'all don't give a fuck about the environment, and I really don't like that shit. And if they ban me from coming back because of this rant, I'm sure I can pull a plug or two to let me back in, so I don't give a damn.
The story time everyone's been waiting for. How did me and my brother even get arrested in the first place? Well, I'll tell you. So it all started off, me and my brother went to a club called Blah Blah. We were there for maybe an hour. And then when we left, we went outside and we were approached by a limousine driver. He wasn't a limousine, but it's like a special kind of like driving, luxury driving. So he was like, hey, where you guys want to go? We were like, we want to go to JBR. And it's JBR's like right down the street. And basically he was like, I know of a much better place. Let's go here. And we were like, okay, like if you've lived in Dubai for like however many years and you think this is a better place, like sure, let's do it. So we go to this other place. It was like, I don't know, 20 minutes away. And once we get there, this place is actually dead. It's not better than the other place because we'd already been to that other place before. It's definitely not better. It's much worse. It's like there's like hardly anybody in there. And then they immediately take us to the VIP section, bring us hookahs, platters of food, a bottle. Girls came over, like shaking sparklers, and I don't know. It was like a whole thing. And they were like, "Do you want them to say your name?" And I was like, "No, that's weird. Like I'm good. I'm good." Like, but anyways, like that was kind of what we walked into, but I was like, whatever, I'll just go with it. I've never gotten a private booth before. So sure, like we'll roll with it. And there was a dude there that I was like, they just brought me way too much stuff. So I was like, hey, like, if you want drinks, have some drinks. You want to eat the crackers and cheese and fruit on the platter, like go for it. And like we were just talking to him briefly, and then the lights turned on. This place is supposed to be open for like another 3 hours, but the lights turned on. They came over, I paid my bill, which was way more than I was expecting, but I was like, whatever. So anyways, this guy that we were sharing the stuff with, he was like, hey, do you want to come to my yacht? And I was like, dude, if I got to pay for that, like I'm good. I'm not going. Like I just spent more than I intended tonight. So I'm good. He was like, no. Like come as my American guest, come as my friend. Like you guys are cool. Like I want you guys to come with us. And me and my brother were like, okay, like, yeah, let's do it. So he ordered an Uber or a private driver or whatever. We go to the yacht. And then once we're at the yacht, we had been there with the yacht was pretty much just like a club on water. Like it was literally like it was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like there was like strobe lights and everything. Definitely a unique experience. But once we get on the yacht, like the vibe is good at first, it was cool. And then after about 10 minutes, somebody came over and they put they were like this, they were like 10,000 dirham. And I was like, whoa, no. Like that dude, I said, that dude right there, he said, I can come for free. I said, he invited me as his guest and he said I didn't have to pay anything. And he was like, oh, okay. So he left and then he came back and I was like, no, bro, I already told you, like, go talk to that guy. And then we went outside and We ended up speaking to, I believe, the person that was in charge of the place. And I told him the same thing. I was like, hey, like, no, he told me to come as his friend, you know, like I already told him I wasn't spending any more money tonight. Then the guy was like, okay, sorry for the misunderstanding. Like, go inside and enjoy the rest of your night. So me and my brother went back inside. After, you know, a few minutes, a girl that I was like talking to in there, she brings me a drink. And literally within 2 drinks, I only remember taking 2 drinks of that drink. Next memory, I'll tell you the whole story, but my very next memory after this is me sitting inside of a locked vehicle. Like I only come to for a few seconds. So my brain goes from having this drink in my hand, like with the straw in my mouth, like my very next memory after this is me inside of this locked vehicle. Me and my brother both have blood on us. Like I look over at him, the back, like he's just leaking blood, and we're in this locked car. And then gone again. My very next memory is me running on gravel and like being in pain. Only for a few seconds these memories come. Then my very next memory is me sitting outside, my shirt's gone, my pants are ripped open from the hip all the way down to the ankle, both shoes are gone, one of my socks is missing, and a toenail. My shirt's gone. Like I said, there's like 15 people in front of us, and then there was about 6 people dressed in all black, flak jackets and ski masks. And I look over at my brother, he's on the ground, he's in cuffs and shackles, there's an officer on his back, like has their knee on his back. And that's what I remember. That's how we got arrested, right? Now I know everything. I know all the details. I've read the case files. I've seen the CCTV footage. What I know happened is when I was in that car, we kicked out the window and we started running. And then we ended up like in a supermarket, which I saw the footage. I'm like, just like staring at like chips or something, you know, like all bloody. Like it was very apparent that I was not in a conscious state. Like watching the CCTV footage, like I could see myself and I'm like, how did you not know something was wrong? You know, like there was like, it's very obvious. I don't look like a conscious person, you know? So they come up on me trying to detain me when I'm clearly not conscious. And my brother sees this happening, who is also not conscious. Same thing happened to him. But in his subconscious mind, he's like, oh, like no one's going to take my brother. You know, no one's going to beat my brother up but me. So he comes over and then things kind of popped off and like my mind must have sensed violence. So I reacted. Like we went into like fight or flight. First flight, then fight. And something I really want everybody to understand is we settled the altercation and we walked away. We didn't continue. It's not like we were trying to hurt anybody. We were trying to defend ourselves and get out of there, which is what we did. We ended it. We walked away. I literally saw it on the CCTV footage. I see us walking out. But what really confuses me is in the police files. They say that we were detained in the market, and then some say we were detained outside of the market. So, and then there's some there was another one saying we were detained in a completely different place. So it's like the story's not straight there. So we don't know how we were officially detained. We have our assumptions, but we don't know for sure. So I can't say. But then here's the kicker. If I was so far gone, so blackout, don't you think that my breathalyzer would have said something other than 0.00, even if it was done hours later? If I had that much alcohol in my system, something would have showed other than 0.00. And then here's the other thing. I told the officer day one, the moment I gained consciousness, I was like, there was something slipped in my drink. I know it. I'm certain. I was very aware. And all of a sudden I go from having this drink in my mouth to right here in cuffs and shackles. Like, no, that doesn't happen. Like, and they were trying to get me to confess and admit to taking illegal substances. Like they were trying to like trick me into saying that I did that. So I was just like, whatever. Like, I already told you, you know, like I told you what happened. I told you what I remember. And, you know, after all that, they still didn't give us a test until day 4 when they knew it would have been out of our systems. Ooh, just random point. So they took our phones. I still never got my phone back. I bought a new phone. They still have my phone in Dubai. They gave my brother's phone back, but my brother took pictures on the yacht. My brother was taking selfies with the dude who owned the yacht. The police said they'd never gotten to his phone, but those pictures were deleted off of his device, gone by the time he got his phone back. Additionally, I have no idea how we got off that yacht. I would assume that we fought our way off, but I genuinely don't know. That's the thing that's killing me is I do not remember. We don't even know if we fought our way off of this yacht. We have no idea, which, you know, the curiosity kills me, but yeah. And by the way, I just want to clear the air on this. Alcohol is not illegal in Dubai. I don't know why everyone's saying alcohol is illegal. Alcohol is not illegal. It's very legal. The club scene's huge. The yacht party scene is huge. Also, for everybody who's been in Dubai, they know that it's common to get invited to yacht parties. It happens all the time. Everybody I spoke to that either lives in Dubai or has been there was like, yeah, I got invited to a yacht party my first time there too. Like I've been on many yacht parties there. Like it's a common thing. And alcohol is so common there that you can even get it at the water park where a bunch of children are. Like people get, they'd be going crazy at the water park. You know, the water park, guys, the water park. That's how you can get it there. If you can get it there, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. And a liquor license, it's not like in the US. You just go on a website and you sign up for it and then you get it. So you could buy your own liquor there too. So I definitely just wanted to clear those things up. I'm just happy to be back home. I'm happy that's all over. And I hope that this spreads awareness for some people, a lot of men, you know, as well. Like our drinks get spiked as well, which, you know, that was never something I was concerned about until now. But gents, you got to watch that stuff too. How was prison in Dubai? Okay, so there's holding that I went to, which is kind of like jail. It's where they take you to do the investigations, which they can take up to like 3 years. Some dudes have been there for 3 years. So I'm just going to call it jail. And then there was the prison that we went to. So I'll start with holding. So as far as the treatment, if you don't speak Arabic, you're going to it's going to suck because you can't really talk to the guards. Most of the guards don't really speak English. And if they do, then they kind of just ignore you anyways. So you're going to want to get close with the foreman, obviously, because he can translate for you. And I guess they're kind of just like any jail guard, any prison guard. Like they're not super nice. They're not friendly. I mean, you can expect that. The food is, in my opinion, obviously absolutely garbage. It's my first time going to prison or jail. So, you know, the food gave me the runs. Like honestly, for like the first 5 days, the food gave me the runs. There's not much nutrition in it. They do give you like chicken at lunch. So I'm glad I was able to get some protein, but yeah, food's not that great. My biggest issue with the jail and the prison is that it is not sanitary whatsoever. So like when you first walk into holding, right? Like they're going to lift this latch and then open the door. And then you're just going to see in the common area, a bunch of people laying on the floor. They're way overcrowded. So there were 6 cells. There were 6 cells and they're separated by like which country you're from. So there was like it was Nigeria, Algeria, Indians. Here was the Emiratis and like, there was like one guy from Costa Rica in there, a couple others, right? And then you have Asia cell, and then you have Pakistan. Each of those cells only has a few bunk beds, but there's like 20, 25 people in those rooms, sometimes more. And then in the common area, they call them the streets. That's where we were sleeping. Like they give you a mattress like this thick. That's honestly so disgusting. And, you just have to find somewhere to put your bed, you know, like the little mattress you have to find somewhere. So me and my brother actually ended up sharing a bed because they put him in the middle of like a bunch of people. And like, you're sleeping like this next to these people. Like I was literally sleeping like this next to somebody that was in there from, you know, yeah. So it's like, it's definitely not like it's way overcrowded, dude. It is so overcrowded. It's not even funny. Like you can't even breathe in that place. The water is not clean. Like, so they, in prison, the water's not clean. The water's not clean. I don't care what anybody says. That water is not clean. You can literally taste that it's dirty. And then, in holding, they did have like, every prisoner had to pay, I think it was like 10 dirhams a week to be able to like contribute to the group water. You know, like they don't provide you clean water there. You have to pay 10 dirham a week to get clean water. Also, we weren't provided a toothbrush, no body wash, no soap, nothing to keep ourselves clean. In holding, we just went in with the clothes that we had on. Well, they gave me hospital clothes because my clothes got ripped off when I got arrested, but my brother just went in, with his regular clothes. And then when you go to prison, they strip you of your clothes. You have to take everything off, underwear included, socks included, and they give you a shirt, pants, flip-flops. That's it. And then same thing when you walk into the prison, super overcrowded. You got a bunch of people sleeping out in the common area. Luckily, when we were there, we got a bunk bed, but the bunk beds are like infested with cockroaches to another level. Like you could see in the joints of the bed where the metal meets, you could see all the cockroach eggs inside of there. And, like when you're sleeping, you'll have to like be flicking them off you. It's pretty bad. And then as far as communication, so when you want to communicate with your family or friends or your lawyer, you have to buy a calling card, which, so if you don't have cash, you're screwed. You're just going to have to maybe ask a favor from somebody else. But that could potentially always come with strings attached. So you don't want to be asking for favors, but you have to buy a calling card, which you, then you load up, right, on like your number. They give you like a phone number while you're in there. And then the phones almost never work. They almost never work in holding. Like, it'd be like, so you can't hear anything anyway. So you have to wake up and call between like 6 and 8 a.m. I think my biggest issue was with sanitary. Like, there's no like cleanliness in there. You know, like, you got people spitting all over the floors. You have people using the restroom and the showers, both, and then just like trying to stomp it down the drain. It's disgusting. And then, dude, there's so much like illness going around in there. There was a professional athlete in there. We got deported together. This dude, within 32 days of being in there, was coughing up blood and went temporarily blind. Like, people go blind in there. It's absolutely insane. My second day in there, I got sick and I had probably the worst fever I've ever had. Like, I was like literally like shaking. That's how bad this fever was. And it's just like, if you go there, dude, you're going to get sick. So hopefully you're not there for long, because the place is absolutely disgusting. And then the food kind of varies in the prison. So the other prisoners serve your food. So, if you're cool with them, they'll hook it up. Like, but if like you're new or stuff like that, I don't really think you're not going to get hooked up. There was one morning I literally got pita bread and 7 beans. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this supposed to do for my body? Like, come on. And then as far as violence, there were like some little altercations, but in so I was in G1. It's like where you in process for prison. That was like the chill one, because there's people who have just gotten there. They're in processing. Like, we had just gotten there. But then there's like F level, and F levels where you don't want to be. That's where fights are happening every day. People are using anything to create a weapon. Like, yeah, you can hear it like upstairs sometimes. So all in all, it's super, super unsanitary. You're going to have bad food, bad sleeping conditions, bad hygiene. Violence wasn't really too much of an issue for us, so we didn't really have to worry about that. A couple things I wanted to add that I remembered before the video ends. There's no toilet paper, so you have to spray off with a hose, and that stuff just gets everywhere, and that leads to whatever is in there getting tracked to the rest of the place. Sometimes people step on your bed, and there's no washer and dryer. So whatever you have, you're either going to have to wash in a bag, in the sink, or in the shower. The one thing I was glad about was that the showers actually are closed, so you don't have to shower with everybody else. Like, you can have some privacy when you shower. And then even if you are able to sleep in there, you're not really gonna be able to sleep, because there's people awake at all hours. Like, during the nighttime, they call it like the party hours, that they can kind of loosen up a little bit, and they feel like it makes the time go by faster. And then during the day, they do prayer 5 times a day. So if you are sleeping in the common area, you're gonna have to get up and move your bed, most likely. And the sleep in there is pretty bad. The hardest part for me was actually before going to prison. That I'll make another video on that, but the mental game of what's going on and, constantly being like this, that was by far the worst part of the experience, to like another level of stress, dude.
Being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
I want you guys to go look up this story, because the headlines are quite interesting. Honestly, I'm really tired of Western media painting this perception of she was arrested because she was a woman screaming in public, or she was arrested because she was a woman behaving in an ill-mannered way in public. No, she was arrested because she was a person screaming in public. This has nothing to do with gender. Anywhere you go in the world, if you are behaving this way in public, if you are screaming, if you are shouting in a conversation, if you are causing any kind of ill-mannered behavior in public, there's going to be some kind of offense. There's going to be some kind of consequence to it, whether small or big. Obviously, I do feel bad. My heart goes out to her family, goes out to her, but there is a way to behave in public. And people want to create this like conversation of, well, this doesn't happen in the United States. You can't get arrested for screaming in public in the United States. I beg to differ. Disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct. These are all offenses. These are all offenses they can be charged with. Yes, they're minor, some are misdemeanors, but these are offenses in the United States. I don't know what led to these events. I don't know what led to her being arrested, because the story keeps on changing, especially the news reports that are coming from her mother. They keep on changing and aren't adding up, to be very honest. My heart goes out to her, but there's a way to behave in public and there's a way not to behave in public. And regardless, if you go to any country, understand their law, respect their law before even attempting to go. This is one of the news reports that was coming out in the story. This is from Yahoo. I want you guys to read the first line. I think it's hilarious. Screaming in public may be common in the US, but it's a much different story in Dubai. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's right. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's right or correct. Yes or no? Clap. Clap if you agree. This is ridiculous. Screaming in public should not be common. It's ill-mannered. Regardless of what the conversation is, nothing gives you the right. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter your status, education. If you are having a conversation with someone, nothing gives you the right to raise your voice, regardless of what happened leading up to that conversation. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Y'all have a good day.
Being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable.
You will never catch my black ass in Dubai. Dubai? What the fuck? They gon' kick me there. For real. They regulations on drinking, you know. Okay, cool. That's not that serious, but no. It's a no for me. Talking about something, you cannot eat in your car or chew gum in public. Okay. Talking about some no PDA. What? If I'm with my bitch in Dubai, I can't even hug and kiss my bitch in Dubai. Like if we was to take a picture, we gotta take a picture like this. Side by side. Don't touch me. What? Then they talking about don't use your left hand. I understand that. You know, because before they had toilet paper, they was wiping their hands, wiping their ass with their hands. You can't dance in public. So all that setting up your tripod, doing a TikTok dance. No. Okay. What? Talking about some, it's considered provocative. You can't cuss. Oh, they gonna lock me up at the airport. For real, I'll be like, fuck, this bitch is beautiful. Seize her, for real. You can't stay in a hotel room with your partner if y'all not married. Go on the fuckhead, for real. And the biggest one for me, and it should have been number one, flaunting your homosexuality. Oh, they not even gonna let me through the door. For real. Talking about it's illegal to be gay out there. Oh yeah, I can't go out there. Literally.
For all those who don't know, I got booked in Dubai, all expenses paid for, to cook for my client and her family for Thanksgiving. Of course, you hear so many mixed reviews about Dubai, about how it's just like a serious country who don't play. A lot of my loved ones was definitely concerned, but more excited because it's like, I got booked in Dubai. Like, of course, I'm thinking like you just have to respect their culture and their rules once you get in their city. I didn't think it was going to be discrimination right at the door. Literally. So me and my client, we both walking up in the line. She's on one side getting her passport checked. I'm on the other side. Her passport got approved. But before her passport got approved, the man asked me who I was with. And I pointed to her. They let her go through. The man immediately was trying to like get one of the other guys' attention. And I'm just sitting right there calm. He got the other guy attention and they told me go over there to the other side of the airport to security. I go on the other side of the airport to security. I'm standing in line and they literally like letting everyone like bust in front of me. Mind you, the people who's busting in front of me is people that like they from like that area, like the Middle East, and like one eye cut up wounds, like they already been in a war. I finally walked up to the desk and gave over my passport and my flight number, and they told me to sit down after. Mind y'all, we landed in Dubai like around 4 in the morning, and I was still sitting with no answers at 9:48 Dubai time. So I'm sitting down, I'm scared, but I'm not showing I'm scared. I got my shoulder punched up, my legs open, I'm giving straight due. So at this point, they probably like really just confused. They called me up twice to take a picture of me. So I'm already known, like they just sent me over to the whole Dubai. They sent me over to everybody in the airport because I'm watching at people and it seemed like everybody's like checking their phone. So I'm still waiting, I'm still sitting, and they not acknowledging me. And even when they was calling me up, they was calling up by their head. So if I was like directly looking or no one then like told me they was calling me, I would have never known. They finally gathered me and the people who was sitting right there up. And at this point, we still not. First of all, they are on their phone and they supposed to be directing us where to go. And they like walking on the side of us, like, you know, not giving two fucks. And we walk in the opposite direction. So at this point, I'm just thinking like, what is about to go down? And now we have to get checked and send out things through a metal detector, walk through a metal detector. So I'm like, this looks like intake to me. Mind y'all, the whole time I'm sitting down, I'm looking at on Google at all these different, like I'm questioning Google at this point because I don't have nobody to talk to. And Google just saying, once you over there, child murder can't help you out. It's their laws against yours. You can get detention. You can get jail time. So I'm like, so the part where the man was taking us at, he was taking us upstairs, like to the top of the airport. So I'm like, okay, we getting somewhere. They took me to a room. In other words, the man was just basically telling me that I look like a woman. And he told me whoever I flew with, I need to get in contact with them and rebook me a flight. And send me in this intake room with a bunch of other people. But mind y'all, the people look like they from a third world country. But I'm like, this my mom and this God. Because during that time, my mother was just speaking to me. And I'm like, I got another chance. And immediately, like, my best friend was just checking on me and I called her. And I'm like, don't, you know, Dubai ain't let me in, but just stay calm. I don't want you to tell nobody. Let me just get this figure out. Then, of course, I had to call my boy, Ron. And I'm just so thankful for him because my service was acting up so bad. And I'm like, Ron, find me. I don't care where it go. Find me the quickest flight out of here. Like, I don't care what country you land in. So Ron, like, a lot of the stops is like countries past Dubai, which is racist countries who don't accept people like my kind. I'm like, no. The next flight out of there was to London. I had to pay $720. Mind y'all, it's like 10 o'clock. The flight leave like at 12 p.m. I was on the first flight out of there. But the most scariest thing ever is like they literally processed us to them. Like they took our passport. We wasn't able to get our passport until the flight was booked. Once the flight was booked, they had to like guide us through the whole airport. Like they put me on buses. When I get off the buses, there's people that's escorting me, like literally. I just want to thank, you know, God, because it could have just went a lot worse, but only the strong survive, and it's just something to add to my testimony because I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to make it back home to my country. I'm thankful, and I'm pretty much just lost for words. Like, I'm God's favorite for real, because shit could have went totally left, and I'm able to tell my story. Someone else able to learn from this.
We need to talk and make sure you're ready to go to Dubai if you're ever considering it, because Americans are getting detained in a prison. Okay. If you haven't watched my video about the Houston woman that was detained in Dubai, please go watch it. Like I was saying, it is so important to know the laws and customs of the country before you go there, before you even decide to go there. So sweets, I got you. Detailed blog post about the top 10 things you need to keep in mind before deciding to go to Dubai. More details, and go to the Cuban in my profile to get the full tea. Number 1, you can only drink in licensed venues. Hotels and restaurants are included. But child, don't be out on the streets being drunk because you will get arrested. Number 2, they have a very, very strict drug policy. Not just your normal, typical illegal drugs that you think of, but also prescription drugs. Number 3, PDA. Just don't do it. Just save it for the room. 4 is about offensive behaviors. You need to be sure to watch your words and your gestures while in Dubai. Be cussing, don't be talking about nobody mama, none of that. Keep it very cute. 5, I know here in America, we just be taking pictures of everybody and everyone and their kids and their mama and everybody. Don't do that there. Do not do it.
There are certain areas where you cannot take photos and videos. Also, it's seen as disrespectful to take photos and videos of certain people. So, number 6, social media. Y'all need to read this with, because they don't play the spicy talk. Insulting people, insulting the government. It's a no. It's a no for Dubai. Number 7 is for my girls. My LGBTQIA plus community. Homosexuality is illegal there. Punishments range from fines all the way to the death penalty, which I thought was crazy. Number 8, dress modestly. Men, I'm also talking to you. No shorts or vests in the restaurant. For my ladies, dress modestly while in public places and keep it real cute and conservative. Number 9 kind of shocked me, dancing in public. So don't be trying to make your TikToks at the beach and doing all the new dance. Cut it out, no dancing in public. You can dance in clubs as long as they're licensed venues, but outside of that, they're like, we don't have time for that shenanigans, not here. And number 10, be respectful of Ramadan. Even if you're not Muslim, during Ramadan, everyone must wear culturally respective clothes. And eating, drinking, or smoking should not be taking place in public.
Dubai, if you catcall a woman on the streets, you'll get fined 10,000 dirhams. In Dubai, if you're driving a dirty car, you can get fined 500 dirhams. In Dubai, if you're crossing the road from here and not from the zebra crossing, you can get fined 400 dirhams. In Dubai, if you litter or spit in the streets, you could be fined 400 dirhams.
So I'm walking down Dubai at 2 in the morning, and all I can say is you can literally walk around with jewelry and have absolutely zero worry about getting robbed. Like, it's impossible. Even if I do, I know I'm safe. They're gonna catch him in maybe 5 minutes. I'm over here by the 5 Palm Jeremiah. I feel like this world is insane. If I was to compare it to one thing, it would be Miami. It is like Miami on steroids, times 1,000 in terms of size, everything. Except it is such a perfect country. No crime. The rules, the regulations, the way people behave, the cleanliness. Dubai is one of a kind. A lot different, but you have to visit.
Guys in Dubai are so cute. Like, it's one of the rules, you can't hug a man there if you're not married to the man. And so when we were leaving, there was this one guy that was so freaking cute. I was just like, bye, because I just wanted to have this one last moment to like savor the moment with him. And I didn't know that he was a cop. And I went to give him a hug, and like every single person turned around in slow motion like, no! And everyone in my team thought I was about to be put in jail. It was
for hugging?
Yes, it was.
That's it for this video. In my opinion, I would say these videos are out not to scare you guys, but actually to educate you. The more knowledge you know, the more power you have. That's what I usually say. Like, I don't want to go to a country blindly. Like, I'd rather like learn some stuff and know and, you know, do my research before I get there. And, you know, before I get there and it's too late, like literally stuff like recording a video, I never thought, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm telling you, these videos actually help me too. Something as simple as sharing a video, you going in, bro. Like, I would have been like, cause it's like, damn, I'll be tempted to take a video of the scenery or some, I don't know, but like, you know, some areas are restricted, some areas are considered like, you know, holy places. You can really take pictures of the mosque, in the mosque, stuff like that. So it's like a lot of things you gotta really pay attention when you go out there, so that, you know, you enjoy your vacation. Because some of these vacations go smoother, you know, they go smoother when you know better, you move better, for sure, you know. And I'm not saying everyone has a bad experience in Dubai. A lot of people have a great experience in Dubai. The better you know, the more you know, the better you have a chance of, you know, surviving in case of, you know, you do some, like literally something as simple as some like crazy as like taking a TikTok video in public, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that could get you arrested. Like, it's I mean, it's crazy, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it's crazy, because every country has its rules and you have to move accordingly. You just can't say like, oh, it's crazy, because honestly, in America we have our rules here too. In Kenya we have our rules there. In Germany they have their rules. In this country they have their own rules that govern their country. And so if people just come and keep breaking them, and that would be actually unfair to their, you know, their citizens. So it makes sense, you know. So everyone just has to move accordingly and respect people's cultures, because some girls twerking in a hijab is wild. That girl, ooh, tripping in a hijab, honey. You are tripping. And in public, yeah. That's what I'm telling you guys. So this should help you guys if you're planning a trip to Dubai. Like literally months before, you need to start watching your language. You need to start watching how you move, so that when you get there you're already used to that. Because something as simple as just talking, if you have a loud tone, some people are not gonna get that. So you have to kind of start adapting, you know, like when they say when you go to Rome, do as the what Romans do. So period. That's all I'm saying. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe. And also make sure to turn on your post notifications, so that every time I drop a video you get first dibs. Like literally you get that notification like this. You're able to click that motherfucker real quick, get your 2 cents. You in there, we're in the comments, we're having a good time, we're having a ball. So I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, stay blessed.